It's not on? Lynn? Is it on? Is this on?
Touch it.
I'm not touching it.
Just hop it.
Is it on? Edward? I can't jump over that. I can jump over that.
Yeah, you can.
Quickly.
Come on.
No, you gotta just
Hop it.
tip up like that.
Yo! Hop it. Oh, that's no fun.
I'm here with my friend Lyndsey, and she farms a little differently than me.
Slightly different.
We both have sheep, but as I always say, there's a million different ways to do it, and there's no right way or wrong way. It's just whatever way works for you. And for these guys, they thought completely out of the box. Land, when you're first getting out, is one of our biggest, I would say, limitations.
Yeah,
when you're trying to get into farming, try and increase your flock size. So what these guys did, literally driving by a solar farm, they said, wouldn't that be cool just to mow their grass with sheep?
Is this where the music cuts in?
Totally.
Wait, also, I should be on my tips.
I know. I totally took that for, I'll stand ahead of you.
Okay.
So Lyndsey totally gave us a whole spiel, but I wanted to give you guys a little bit of, if you're thinking about getting to sheep, and you got to kind of think outside the box sometimes if you want it bad enough. There's ways to do it. So I wanted Lyndsey just to give us a little bit about the history of why you're doing this, how long you've been at it, what you've learned, and where you hope to go in the future.
Okay.
Just like that.
It's a lot of things.
I know.
This is our solar grazing site. This is how we are turning our sheep flock into something of commercial scale. We needed more land. So we do things grass-based, or at least we were trying. We needed more land, we needed more hay land, we needed more grazing land. We had literally driven by a 200-acre solar site many, many times. Chris, my partner Chris Moore, had passed by it how many times and thought if we could just put our sheep in there. And so I quite literally Googled the site and the company that was running it. I sent them an email and I said, can I propose something here? Can I bring my sheep to your farm, to your solar farm, and can we graze them? Can we do the plant management there? Behind us here, we've got about 400 animals in here right now, so that includes ewes and lambs. We've got our main sheep flock that actually lambed here, and then we've got a mix of Chris's flock that was an accelerated flock that we actually lamb out in groups throughout the year. So different sheep breeds and sort of a different focus between them, but for the most part during the summer, everybody comes here to eat. We basically bring our sheep in, we built a mobile fencer, because ironically we can't just plug a fencer in. Uh-oh, I have to go soon.
Okay.
So we're gonna do this fast. Anyway, so we had to build a fencer, we have to get them water, and we literally cross fence our sheep across 180 acres of solar panels, moving them every 1 to 2 days. And the goal is to get across the site probably twice once we reach sort of maximum numbers. Right now we're probably getting across the site about once, and so we are actually taking a first cut of hay in late June, early July to feed these sheep through the winter, and also to keep ahead of the grass. What we are discovering in using a solar site as grazing land for our sheep and for expanding our sheep flock is you're still managing sheep, but you're also managing plants for a specific purpose. So with a solar panel, the goal is to keep that panel clean and intact without any shading or any dirt as much as you can. And so shade is the enemy. So any plants that grow directly in front of the panel and shade it, or plants that grow through the panel and grow across it, shade it. And that's a problem for the solar companies. So our sheep are perfectly designed to fit underneath these panels, and they not only clear out everything in between, but they're really, really good at taking any of the plants that are growing up through the panels. So grapevines, Manitoba maples, all sorts of different trees, raspberry canes, anything that climbs. And the solar site, up until we came here, was using grazing pretty extensively, and using, of course, just people power of literally just snipping and pulling away and chopping down some of these trees, and then herbicides, and a combination of those three. We're trying to introduce sheep to take care of most of those things. We still do some manual clipping, some removal of plants, and we, of course, have a couple plants that are still a bit of an issue because sheep don't eat them, and that's, for the most part, only thistles and bull thistles. So our sheep move in here in about May. We had a group that lambed here, starting the May long weekend for about 2 weeks, and they will stay here until the snow flies. So hopefully we have a super open, amazing fall, and they're here till Christmas. Okay, that might be a bit of a might be a bit of a stretch, but last year they came home mid-November. Well, we try and keep them here as long as there's grass and as long as there isn't a ton of snow that actually freezes the fences down, because we still have to move the fences. We can keep rolling. There's a lot of challenges. We have our guardian dogs here because, of course, coyotes are still a risk. We need to keep water to them, especially in the heat, so we did have to create a cart that can do that. Fences don't always stay up, sheep don't always stay in, so that's a bit of a challenge. But mostly it's all about just finding the balance of how many sheep do we need to keep the ground covered, to do enough trampling. We don't want to scalp the grass by any stretch. How many sheep do we need to do that, and also keep these panels clear. What having the solar actually allows us to do, so one of the key things is that we've drastically expanded our land base without any added capital cost. There's still a cost, of course, to doing this. We've invested in more sheep, we've invested in fencing, we've invested in solar panels, ironically, batteries, these sorts of things. It's a huge labor cost as well, but it's allowing us to grow our flock to a commercial size, to a sustainable size, really, for our family. It also, we do get paid to do this, and as we should. We have to carry extra insurance, there's equipment that we need, we do have to winter these animals, we have to care for them over the year, but it has added just that little bit of extra income while we do grow this flock. So as of right now, we're sitting, maybe I'm gonna say 50-50 as far as what we're getting for plant management and what we'll make in lamb sales this year. By next year, we'll eclipse that with our lamb sales easily, but this at least gives us the stability to get there and to grow our flock without completely maximizing. Like, we'd have to leverage everything we had to try and get access to this amount of land. If we had another 200 sheep tomorrow, we'd still have enough feed for them. But, and a lot of people have said, well, just go borrow the money and just go do it and just go get them. But there's still that balance of, we've already grown quite quickly, 1 year over the next, and we plan to expand again next year with more sheep. And of course, they naturally are doing so as well, which is a great thing about sheep. But there is the concern of, we are learning things every time. This is only our second summer doing this, and we're already learning so much. There are not a lot of people doing this in Canada. There are more in the US, but we don't have a huge mentorship to draw from to learn. So we sort of have to learn this on our own. So we do want to grow, but we don't want to necessarily grow so fast that we just end up in a wreck. So we are incredibly thankful for this setup, but it's a lot of time, it's a lot of effort, it's a lot of hard work, but it's making it possible to actually grow our flock to where we need it to be.